Hello, everybody. I am Will.
And I'm Kristen.
And this is why I'm watching RuPaul's Drag Race, Season 16, Episode 13, Drag Race Vegas Live Makeovers. All those words are there. This was a very fun episode. We had a great time watching it. Yeah. We were very kind of giggly. One of the better reactions. But on that note, or to that point, there's not really a lot to talk about with it.
Yeah, it was just nice. It was cute.
I really liked bringing in the dancers because it was very fun because allegedly, reportedly, by this point in competition, the girls are horned up.
So horned up.
And
like as horned up as Betty Cooper in the final season of Riverdale.
They were beside themselves. And then they gave Nymphia the straight one.
Yeah, seems a little rude.
And she like collapsed like one of those flippy toys.
Yeah.
Like,
it did also, though, seem that most of the rest of them who were gay were married. So it's like she would have been blocked no matter which direction.
They're Vegas dancers on a RuPaul show, so they have a passing familiarity with the lifestyle.
Sure, yeah.
They may not be family, but they are adjacent.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really fun, and it was also fun bringing in, this is a pretty tight top 5.
Yeah.
There's not much contention, so not only are our queens getting along well, but the dancers that they brought in got along well, and it's nice to have a shake-up to get some new people in there, get some new stories, get some new energy, vibes, all that.
Because to your point too, it seems that even like Q and Plain, who have been the most like consistently, I guess, at odds since the beginning, it's now even just like eye-rolly stuff because Q was like talking about Plain's eyebrows and she's like, you suck, like
oatmeal-y.
Yeah.
But and on that note, there was some deforestation that got Kristen really upset.
Well, okay, first of all, they all had like beautiful facial hair too, like really well, like all but one of them were brown, and so they all had really thick, dark, like beautiful beards. Oh, and so they shaved all of that and mustaches too. And then the poor one that was with Plain Jane got just to here, like nips up. I didn't like it. He was also the only one with chest hair to begin with.
Well, one of them, it was pretty sparse, and then one of them had a pretty spectacular trail.
Happy trail.
But it started right here. I was opera
glasses, yeah. I like body hair.
Yeah.
I'm not like desperate for it or anything, but it's when it's good, it's good.
Yeah. It was a makeover challenge, which is
well, and also one
frequent.
Of those like twinsy things where you have to like make them look like you. It's not just a makeover; it has to be like your drag family.
Family resemblance is what I meant to say.
Yeah.
I was like, why are you repeating what I just said?
Because it's not what you said.
It was a family resemblance.
Yeah. Well, it does, to your credit, only say makeovers in the title of the episode. So,
and I liked the stunt bringing in the dancers. Not only do you get to advertise the show, I don't know. I liked it because sometimes they bring actual family in to do it. Sometimes they bring contestants who have gone home and stuff like that.
A couple times it's been like teachers,
shaking things,
random teachers.
Yeah. Shaking things up is part of the game.
Yeah.
So going into it, I really liked this look from Ru.
Me too.
It was a little Flintstones coded. Well, it's got a Barney color story happening, but it looks, I don't know. I really liked it. We're back with the platinum wig.
And the eye makeup was... I love it. It's always just like the colors that are so good, and this was like the green and the pink from the dress and up there, and Michelle, this dress on Michelle. Can I also say something controversial and brave?
Can you?
I like Michelle with no tits.
Oh.
I'm kind of into it. I like it. I think better than the fake big tits. And also it's just a beautiful neckline.
And then we had T.S. Madison, who we have really been enjoying, and Kelsea Ballerini, who was getting her entire life.
Yeah.
The lip sync. We'll get to it. Okay, getting to the runway.
Q and Luna.
This is Q and Luna. I was speechless at first. When she came out, it was such an assault that I was just like, I had nothing.
Yeah, but
the more that I got, as I was able to, it was like jumping into a cold pool. As I was able to adjust, I was like, okay, I do really like this. I'm not entirely sure what the consensus is, especially in the fandom, with the family resemblance challenges, because there are ways of doing it where I don't know what is preferred, because sometimes they're just wearing, like, it's like a duplicate or a carbon copy or like a twin, like a mirror image. And sometimes it's complementary. And sometimes, because these are the same materials and it's the same, vibe and aesthetics, but they are two completely separate looks, like two different looks.
But I think it's more about it's about some kind of cohesion, and then the face is, I think, the most important. And
I'm curious if people feel strongly about it, because I don't really.
I don't.
I think more so it depends on your overall success. I think if you nailed it, it doesn't really matter how you nail it.
Sure.
If you don't nail it, that's where I'll start picking at it a little bit.
So, like, I think for me, it's like, it's the difference between doing, like, the outfits with Sarah Paulson and Renee Zellweger in Down with Love, or like the sisters number from White Christmas. Like, like, what's the vibe? What are we doing? And I like that this is like the Down with Love. And also, you cannot discount enough Q's strategy of, like, I'm just gonna throw everything on here and it'll distract from my dancing. And it fucking worked. I think it's great.
Yeah, the more like I said, as I had a moment to adjust, I like it, and I probably would have given this the win.
I would have too.
Which Q was slipping a little bit for me. I think this was much needed for her getting back in there. This is Morphine and Latina.
Very funny.
Now, if we're talking about face,
spot on.
This is the most successful, like family resemblance.
Yeah.
Like, from the neck up, they look like sisters, or even, again, the mirror has two faces.
It's boring.
The dresses, I don't think it's enough for this point in the competition.
Yeah, it's boring. I totally agree. There should have been some kind of boa or something, because he is a full man.
I said it's like The Rock.
Yeah. It's like The Rock, or like those John Cena set photos where he's wearing the little schoolgirl outfit.
She did get the butt.
She got the butt. It's great. All of that is great. And then also they were like, she needed bigger hair too. Latina needed bigger hair. And I agree with that as well. But also, this is just a corset, and it's just kind of boring. And the nudes it's not the right color. You can't I'm done with the nudes. Just be naked. So this is what you mean with Nymphia.
Nymphia and Juanita.
Yeah.
So this is my personal preference. This is my favorite.
It's pretty.
Yeah.
I thought T.S. Madison's critique of, like, I've only seen you, Nymphia, in yellow, and I wish I would have seen you in something else. I think it's valid, but I also think it doesn't really...
Well, because
you can't really actually dock her points for that, because then Michelle brought up the branding, which is, it's like, you can't really...
I will say that of the people, especially the ones that I've seen who have a shtick that, do that thing frequently, though I think Nymphia is doing it well and doing a great job with it, I do think she is close to the line. I think she is very close to the line of overdoing it, even though I think she hasn't crossed it.
I mean, I don't think she's anywhere as close to the line as Tina Burner was. That was
Trixie. Now I know. You're not comparing. Sure. But yeah, I love the Big Bird tights on both of them. I love... I wish they wore the mask a little bit longer, because I didn't even notice it until...
Well, and also, the other thing, too, is Nymphia just does, like, pretty classic glam makeup, which is, like, easy to recreate on someone else. Okay, this, I'm gonna say it, and I don't care. This was not very good. And I understand that her original dress didn't work out, but there is no cohesion in these two besides the color.
I want to know.
Not even the wigs are the same.
Well, I actually desperately want to know what the original plan was. I want to see the blue and whatever the red or more rainbowy, because she really has an inner saboteur that can rear its head sometimes, because she did scrap it because of the dance part.
Yeah.
Which I guess did matter, but it feels like it didn't matter
that much.
Well,
like, I
wonder.
Also for me, where it's like Morphine was able to like take part of it out. Could you not put something underneath it that then you take it off and you're like the jewel?
Well, and I like because
the geode thing sounded amazing.
Yeah. Well, and one of my favorite qualities or favorite things about Saphira is her storytelling ability. She is a phenomenal storyteller, and I like the angle she came up with.
Yeah.
But the second she said it, I was sort of like, well, what you're wearing looks more like the
daughter.
Yeah, the daughter. Like, it was more Shirley Temple.
Oh.
All I had was Dolly Parton. I couldn't I was like, it was more like toddlers and more Shirley Temple coded. So I would have had
switched it.
Yeah, they're the same color, the dresses, but...
And that's what I'll give, is I'm like, if you had something originally in mind and you had to scrap it and just go through your shit and figure something out, then this is as well as we could expect. But it's like, the hair, they're not even the same, like, style. Like, the curls are different. They're both just big. And it's like, I shouldn't need you to tell me the story to figure it out.
This was really good. It is, again, for my taste, I don't think that... I think I prefer the complimentary versus the carbon copy.
Yeah, same.
However, I mean, they did a good job.
Yeah. And I do like that the hair is different.
Yeah. And
the padding, fantastic.
And Lazy Susan
is so... And it also, like... You said it added 5 years to RuPaul's life. The laughter coming out of that man backstage.
Well, it's just good, like, at its base point, at its resting point, it's good. And it's good several layers over, but also, especially in tandem with Plain Jane.
Yeah.
These two
Plain
slutty
and
sisters,
lazy. Yeah.
Plain Jane and Lazy Susan. It really paints a picture, like it really sets in a way that I almost wish she had leaned into it even more, because this is kind of like biker chick chic type
had
thing.
Been lazy?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know that I think it needed to be that literal, but it truly could have been. Yeah. That's an angle they could have taken it. But yeah, these I like that they brought the dancers in, because if these were just actual muscle dudes, which they've done a couple times, it's a little too awkward, and these guys were not afraid
to be. Yeah.
She did a good job.
Yeah,
she did good. And Lazy, I kept saying but she looks like Gothy Kendall. Yeah. So yeah, the lip at the bottom was Morphine and Saphira.
Yep,
and it was good.
It was. Good.
That's, well, like I said, that's one of my favorite qualities of Saphira is her storytelling and her acting ability. And when you're going up against someone like Morphine, you can't just do the same thing.
You have to go the other direction. You have to.
And she was telling a story.
Yeah.
She was using her entire face, body, everything. It was
great.
It was great. And the Kelsea Ballerini, I miss you more.
I miss me more. Well, Morphine went home.
Yeah.
And Plain Jane won, even though we would have both given it to Q, probably.
Yeah.
I just think there was a little more there with Q's. But Plain Jane and Saphira have both won 4 times.
That's too many for Plain Jane.
She said this is my 4th win.
Yeah, wow.
I mean, they both share one from last week, but...
I like Plain Jane fine. Because I was going to say the Q definitely is shticky as well. Like, she has a lane that she likes to stay in. Yeah. I just find that lane a little bit more compelling.
I agree. Yeah.
And I am not as convinced that Nymphia is going to take this. I still think she's a shot. And again, certainly from her aesthetic, her style, and like her sense of humor, she's my likely. I guess we still don't know if this is a top 4. They didn't officially say. And they were dancing
there
around
is one more episode. But that's the thing. If it's not going to be a top 4, I'm thinking it's going to come down, like, who goes home is going to come down to Q and Nymphia. Like, I think Plain Jane and Saphira are a lot. I think one of them would have to biff it so hard next week, and I just don't see that.
So, okay. Well, we will see you guys next week.
Bye.